Welcome on back, Dragon Folk, to a new episode of us exploring the world of Eberron. But today, we're doing something a little more festive. Today, we are exploring the Night Revels, which, if you are new or old to DDO, this is the Halloween event that they have going on. It takes place in House J, all the way back here in this corner, right by where the airship would drop you off. And how this works is it's a long-running event. I don't know when it is going to end. I think it's probably sometime either at the end of the month or sometime early next month. But they have this event going on for a while because it is one of the more popular events that are going on during this time. So here we essentially get a bunch of really cool gear and items and such. So for instance, you'll say this guy here, right? You see that armor? That's cosmetic, right? It's cosmetic armor. And you can buy all that armor through this guy. You just go show me your wares. Click on here to see this list. And so you've got a lot of things you can do, right? This cosmetic armor comes in several colors, such as yellow, blue, red, green, and purple. And then you'll see there's 8 pages. And these 8 pages have a ton of stuff. These are usually just like small little things here to then eventually we get to, so you get like cosmetic hats and you get all these cosmetics you can buy, brooms and such. But here's where the meat and potatoes are. You can get a new kind of weapon, right? So a lot of the weapons that they sell here are based solely on the fact that there are, it's like to kill undead or to destroy undead kind of deal. So you have things like the Spectral longbow, which all of these items level up. You have to start them at level 4, right? So level 4, you have to buy it. And then as you continue to get these ingredients, right, you can then you can put the bow back in here and then click on these, and it will tell you that you have the ability to upgrade it. And so eventually these go from level 4 all the way to level 28, I want to say. Yes. 28 is the highest they go. So you could level one from 4 to 28. You can buy one for each of those individual, like, even levels, which is something that is recommended usually to a lot of people because they are really good weapons. And they are fairly easy to craft as long as you're farming this, right? Now, obviously, getting one of each weapon consistently, I mean, you're probably not going to have any bank space for that being a free-to-play character if you're like me. But a lot of these weapons do really, really cool stuff. For instance, the Spectral Great Axe at level 28 gives you Superior Vorpal, Crushing 13, Gross Bane 6, Evil Outsider Bane 6, and a plus 12. I think now that I'm seeing it, yeah, all of the weapons give this exact thing. So that is Greater Vorpal. Does this have Greater Vorpal? Superior Vorpal. So on Vorpal hit, if your target has fewer than 2,500 hit points, they are instantly slain. So things like that, right? It's just like, I think they all share the same stats, but they're just different kinds of weapons. So the level 28 probably has Superior. Yeah. So those are all great, but there are also pieces of armor you can get. This Cloak of Night, I recommend if you are at any point ever playing DDO and you want new armor and the Night Revels is going on, get the Cloak of Night. It's so good, and when it's leveled up totally to level 28, you get Invisibility Guard, Ghostly, Death Block, Nightmare Guard, Dodge plus 12%, and a DR15 to good. DR15 except from good aligned weapons. So unless for some reason the monster you're fighting has good aligned weapons, it is pretty great. The Ghostly essentially gives you blur like at all times. Invisibility Guard, chance of granting you temporary invisibility when you're hit. You have Death Block, which is always necessary. Nightmare Guard, that means that anytime anybody hits you, they could get feared. It's... Oh, hold on, sorry. It may also expose your foes to their greatest fears acting as a PK spell. Phantasmal Killer. It's an instant kill spell if they don't save correctly. So amazing. There's also several other pieces of weapons here, right? So like the wraps, for instance. The wraps don't have the same. So like if you're a monk or anything, the wraps don't have the same. But they have some pretty cool stuff too. They have Greater Undead Bane, Coruscating. Weapon shines with an inner light, does a bunch of light damage. Lightbringer on Vorpal. If undead is struck by the slain weapon, by this weapon or has fewer than 1,000 hit points, it's instantly slain. And Greater Sunburst, Eternal Fury of the Heart of the Sun. Occasionally this power comes to the surface, unleashing a nova of light which will blind the struck enemy, dealing severe light damage to it and any other nearby foes. There's also the Shadow Robe, which is another thing you can get. This is just specifically for anybody who's wearing the cloth armor. You get a bunch of... I mean, there's just so many things. Crystallized Eternity. It's a great club. It's made for casters. You have the Pick of Endless Night. You have the Star of Endless Night. The Specter Deflector. First off, I love the names they give everything, right? It's got Life Sealed 33%. You're immune to magical effects that cause instant death. In addition, you have plus 33% enchantment enhancement bonus to negative energy absorption. So, you essentially get death block, and you get enhancement bonus to negative energy absorption, which is great. A Spectral Dagger. You also get Spectral Throwing Daggers. Eternal Wand of Disrupt Undead, which an Eternal Wand means it always recharges, so you have that all the time. And you can just upgrade that to whatever... Upgrades it to caster level 11. Eternal Wand of Nimbus of Light. This is just a ray spell. So if you are if you're a cleric or a favored soul or anybody who can use wands and you want some divine magic, get this, because this is really good. Because it's, like I said, it's literally 50 charges. It's 50 charges of Nimbus of Light, and then you can upgrade it as it is, so... Yeah. So, essentially, this will be level 3, level 5, level 7, level 9, level 11. So, a level 11 Nimbus of Light is essentially the best you can do, and that'll be... You can just use that however, right? Free spells to anybody who can cast it. But that's the rewards, right? Let me kind of show you guys how to do the Night Revels. So, like I said, this is going to be kind of a long one, just so I can kind of give you an idea. But when you go click on here, it'll say Delara's Graveyard, the Night Revels Delara's Graveyard Quest, or the Night Revels the Crypt. So, in the Delara's Graveyard Quest, you will go in there, and you will be given the option to choose your level that you want to do this at. The goal is to get 5 stars, because 5 stars will beat the level, right, for this. But in some of the other ones that are in the crypt, it is possible for you to only get 4 stars or 3 stars. It all depends on what you do. But we'll get into the crypt in a little bit here. So the goal is to get 5 stars all the time. That gets you the most experience, and it gets you the most rewards out of all of this. So you'll see that this pays out the piece of darkest chocolate, which is one of the ingredients there. But, more importantly, this also gives out Night Revel keys. These here. So these Night Revel keys, what they do is they will unlock things in the crypt. So I'm going to do a quick run here in the Delara's Graveyard. This is just another thing that I suggest to still bring a hireling with you, or some friends if you have those. You can always go ahead and do that. But put your hireling on. Put this on. Make this. Throw these away. Alright, and so now what we do is our whole goal is to defeat the undead. That's what we have here.
During the Night Revels, the plane of Maybar becomes coterminous with this corner of Stormreach.
So
Dark energies are building throughout the graveyard. Destroy the undead before they threaten the rest of the city.
the cool thing about this this little area, right, is that there's also a lot of there's also just a lot of undead to kill, right? So, like, you get the monster manual stuff for killing all these undead, so on and so forth. And it's very, I don't know, it's very straightforward in its idea, right? It's literally just fight undead, right? So the cool thing is, and something I suggest if you are going to... Come on, where'd that shadow go? Something I suggest is that if you are going to be, doing a lot of the Night Revel stuff, I do suggest that one of the first things that you get, because you can just keep doing this at level 4, right? And the experience you get is pretty good. So, I definitely say that's another big tip from me to you, is the fact that... Another big tip from me to you is the fact that these also give experience. So even if this is the only content you did for, like, the rest of this month, you'll still get a pretty decent amount of experience on a regular basis, which is very good. Very, very, very good. So the whole point of this quest is to kill undead. That's it. You kill undead. That's the concept. Anybody else following me? No? Okay. So you'll see now this area is open, right? We are now going to go over to this way, and we're going to fight stuff. And so the reason I say that I suggest that you get these weapons first, you know, as you start getting materials, that you start getting these weapons first. I say that specifically because being able to kill these things is important, right? You want to have a sense of, you know, I guess an upper hand in a situation like this, you know? So having an upper hand in a situation like this is very good, because that allows you to... It allows you to fight things that you normally wouldn't be able to, like spirits, right? For those of you who have not run into ghosts yet, or any kind of wraith or something along those lines, the ghosts are incorporeal. Or incorporeal, I believe is how they say it. And if you do not have a ghost touch weapon or something that is akin to ghost touch, you cannot... Your chances of hitting these enemies is much harder. Much, much, much harder. So, you're going to want a weapon that will kill... You'll see that you get a Night Revel key sometimes when you kill them. You're going to want a weapon that will kill things that are incorporeal. Because if you don't have anything, it's going to make this much more difficult for you. Because there are a lot of these wraiths going around all over the place. There's a lot of specters and spirits. There's a lot going on that you don't want to... you don't want to be caught off guard, right? You'd rather be prepared than not. Shit. Vital. Well. So, something with this area I've noticed specifically that I have not noticed... I have not noticed this in any other areas. But, in here, the higher your level is, the different monsters you get. So I think from level 10 and below, you don't really get a lot of spirits. There's not many spirits doing anything in this specific area. But if you go from level 11 and then up, there are more spirits. There also seem to be like spirit beholders, which of course, as you know, is never a fun time. So
The dense fog blocking the northern and southern paths near Delara's tomb lifts.
So you'll see,
You can hear the shuffling
this is like your main point, right?
growing
You start here, you go through this area, kill all your guys, and then you're allowed into this area. You kill a whole bunch into here until this area opens up. Come up here, kill a boss. You can shrine here, or you can keep going. That right there is what I'm talking about. Doom spheres is what they're called. And they're quite literally just beholders, but they're incorporeal. So you don't want to be caught off guard with that, because those will mess you up something fierce. If they're anything like actual beholders, they'll obviously be a big problem. So my suggestion, like I had said, is if you know you're going to farm this content, let's say you want the cosmetic armor, or you want the actual like weapons and armor for this to kill undead, because I mean there's a ton of undead in this game. Like a ton. There's several adventure packs that are specific to fighting undead. There's several there's just several things that are very specific towards undead. And you're going to want something that will kill them faster, right? You know, it's like you don't go fight a vampire without garlic, you know what I mean? So in this sense, it is always best to be prepared. So if you are going to be farming it, please get the weapon first. And then if I'm to suggest anything else, if you're able to get the Cloak of Night, and that should be one of the first pieces of gear you get, along with a weapon, because the Cloak of Night is just great. A death block cloak that gives you a whole bunch of, like, you know, resistances to like physical damage is a blessing. So as you kill things out here, you will find that it will drop pieces of darkest chocolate, or it will drop a Night Revels key. So you need those keys in order to get other materials, because in here you can only get the darkest chocolate. So the only thing you can get in here is that. But there are little quests that have been made specifically for this event, right? That contain, that's like, they're almost like what do you call it? Like replicas of They're almost like replicas of quests that already exist and dungeons that already exist. But spooky. There's like pumpkins everywhere, and it's like a whole thing, so. And so I suggest bringing a cleric only because, for one, you're going to want to have some light damage, some light spells, because, you know, undead are super weak to positive spells. So you're going to want that for sure. Then you also need heals. You also would like, you should probably get heals, because that's just how this works. Hello? What did I save against? Weep? What I saved against?
You spot moving forms in the area in front of Delara's tomb.
So now that you've completed and gone around the back here, and you fought off all these other enemies, now what you're going to do is you're going to go back up to these shrines, because now this area is back open. And you'll see that as we progress through this, we get these star ratings. So it'll show you there, while in a challenge, your current star rating and score are shown. Outside of challenges, this display shows your highest score for the challenge. Stars are achieving certain key objectives in a challenge will earn you stars. The star objectives are listed in the XP report. When you complete a challenge with a new record number of stars, you will earn bonus experience for each new star you've earned. And then, for example, getting two stars on your first completion will earn you bonus experience for your first and second stars. A later 3-star completion will earn you bonus experience for the 3rd star only. So I always recommend just getting 5 stars the first time because it's really easy. And you really can't not get 5 stars in here. You really can't. The score number is a measure of the group's overall performance, yada yada. So that's how they determine your score, and you get some bonus experience out of that. So right now our experience is 1200. Now because I've done this before, it's going to be roughly about that, but for your first time completion bonus for these things, you actually get a decent amount of experience, believe it or not. You get anywhere from like 11 to 15k.
You feel the swirling dark energies of Mabar dissipate.
So you'll see I made 2k experience in there. 2k experience. Come in here, get your chest, so you just get some loot out of it too, so just randomized loot. You can then finish out. And that is the end of how you farm for keys, right? So I don't remember how I had 2 keys coming in here. I don't know how many keys I have now. I guess I can check. 5 keys. So I got 3 keys in there, right? So now what we can do is we can go ahead and go into this area, the Night Revels, the crypt. So now that you have your keys, you have access to the crypt. Well, you've had access to the crypt, but now you have access to these dungeons. First off, you get to listen to this bop of a music, right? Loving this. But more importantly, now you have access to things that will get you other rewards. So you have Under New Ravagement, which is a quest that gets you the Spooky Almond and Piece of Darkest Chocolate. Kobold's Newest Ringleader, another Spooky Almond. The Snitch and the Lich, this gets you some Sinister Cinnamon. These 2 get you black apples, I think. Yeah, 2 black apples. This one also gets you black apples. This one gets you cinnamon. This one gets you the Shadowy Caramel. And this one will also get you the Shadowy Caramel. So then you have this one in the center. This is like the boss one, right? You can do it by yourself, because I know I've done it. This will give you Spectral Dragon Scales. Now, you need Spectral Dragon Scales for, I think, only a couple things. But let me see here. What do you need Spectral Dragon Scales for? For the cloaks, the diadem of the diadem of Specter, and the cosmetic hat for the Vargul Wings. So most of the like cosmetic, so the capes, any of the capes you end up getting, you need 50. You need 50 for all of these cosmetics. 50 of everything for all these cosmetics. So I believe the turnout for the rewards are random, except for this one so far. I've done this one. This is very much so reminiscent of the quest. Haberdasher's Got a Problem, I think, is the name of the quest. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Literally just Haberdasher, right? So Haberdasher, what that is, it's just you go in here. It's a 10-minute quest, and I've gotten 15 Shadowy Caramels consistently. That's because it's a pretty straightforward quest. There's only one room. There's just a bunch of enemies in the room, and you just have to keep killing enemies. But you get 15 guaranteed, and it's really easy to farm. The next one you have is getting ahead in Lord's March Plaza. So what I'm going to do, actually, for you guys, before, just instead of like going over all these, I'm going to show you what each of them are and how to complete them. And we'll go ahead and start off, actually, we'll probably start off under here. Because I've done this one, I've done this one, I've done this one. I have done both of these. I have not done the Snitch and the Lich. I have done the Kobold's Newest Ringleader, and I have not done Under New Ravagement. So, I'm going to go do Under New Ravagement. We'll start there. I'm going to start it at level 12, because that's how I know I'm going to get the best experience out of it. It looks like there are mummies, so that's a little unfortunate. But yeah, so these are essentially replicas of quests, but they're spooky now, is essentially the whole concept. So, where were my spining arrows not? I don't know why. So,
as you enter the tavern, you notice the smell of rot in the air.
you're going to talk to Maxwell. You can, of course, read all this, but I'm not going to. So you'll see that starts this quest. It looks like we're just fighting some zombies.
Gruesome shapes begin to fall.
So now we've completed our first star rating, right? So we have 1 star rating now. Now we have to go protect the tavern. Now I kind of remember this quest now. I don't remember what it's based off of. I'm imagining it's something along the line of Under New Management, but now it's called Under New Ravagement. But you are protecting this tavern from these zombies, right?
Pounding can be heard from down below.
So 2 sets of zombies now gone. So now down below, pounding can be heard. So I'm going to go... There's some ghouls. I think this is essentially one of those one-room areas. Oh, that's a mummy. Don't like these guys.
A mummy and its servants drop from the roof. The creature hisses, "Those that oppose the master shall meet their end."
And you come back here, kill up more zombies. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We ain't looking too hot here. Mummies are literally the worst. Yeah, mummies are just the worst. Now we also have this guy to kill.
Maxwell Stadler nervously returns to the tavern.
Kill this guy.
Vorn
Bam.
has been slain.
So now you've completed everything in this quest, is from what I'm concerning. So this is another one of those, like, general get everything done in one room things. Glad it's taken care of. I got 15 spooky almonds. I also got 12k experience from this for my first time. So, very cool. You also get a small little chest out of this, too. So, very, very cool. So, now, this is one of those ones where if you need spooky almonds, but you don't want to do an entire dungeon, you can do this here. That will give you 15 all the time. So, Under New Ravagement and Haberdasher will give you this will give you 15 almonds. That one will give you 15 spooky caramels. The next one that we have on the list is the Kobold's newest ringleader. Now, out of the 2, if you're going to farm one for spooky almonds, I suggest doing this one. Because granted, that is all in the same room. This one usually nets you about somewhere upwards of like 30 per quest. So every time you do it, you get a little bit out of it. You get a little bit extra out of it, I should say. Now, for those of you who have run Kobold's new ringleader before,
An overwhelming stench assails you as you begin to explore the hideout.
so those of you who have run Kobold's new ringleader before, you know exactly what... Oh, you guys are probably going to keep down here now. So, for those of you who know, the box trick, right? You can jump up here, jump up on the other side, and then go over there, and then you're over, right? Well, there's a downside to this, right? The downside is that, I mean, hey, if you're a ranger, you can kill these kobolds right here and have no issues at all with any of that. But just know that if you end up falling over to that other side, you're committed to that. Now you'll see that we have 1 star, but if you jump over and you go all the way through, you only get 4 stars. The 5th star is located in here. I shouldn't say in here specifically. 5th star is located in the next room, where you have to kill Click. So there's Click.
Kilk has been slain.
Kilk. So that is your set. That is your star there. So that's one of your stars. So it says optional because yes, you can beat the game, or you can't beat the game. You can beat this level, this dungeon, by you can beat this dungeon by obviously just you know, going through to the other side, right? But you won't get full credit. And you want to get full credit, because that gets you the most experience and the most rewards.
Begins to glow. It looks very similar to a rune found on the locked door in the central corridor.
Where's the shaman? Weird, there was supposed to be a shaman over here. But this whole level is just you killing kobolds, except for at the end. But go in here, more kobolds to kill. You're gonna go ahead and click this guy here. That is your 3rd objective, is you've obtained access into the next area. So now you just need to do these 2 things, locate the kobold's newest ringleader, and then continue exploring the Bonebite hideout. So, you've got some more areas over here to explore. There is a trap right there. So, like I said, it is quite literally kobold's new ringleader, except spooky. Right? That's what they've done for these quests, is they just essentially made them spooky. Which I quite like. I think it's a nice little touch. There's a shrine back here, but we don't need it. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open this up, and there's going to be the kobold's newest ringleader.
Can be heard through the door. A muffled voice squeaks. The door shatters.
Okay.
As several creatures shamble
So much like the other one also,
Malkirik the Lich bids his creations
my
to attack.
dude's going in. He's going in hard. He's going to take out that Lich himself. So there is a Lich in this other room.
As Malkirik crumbles to dust,
You get 30.
a
I got
feeling
30 out of here.
calm settles throughout the room.
So 30 is pretty great. And like I said, it was not a very difficult dungeon to do. So definitely suggest doing this one over the one with the mummy in it. Because the mummy, as you saw, if he gets his hands on you, he pretty much kills you almost instantly. But in here, you just have to deal with some kobolds. So not too bad. So that is the almond levels, right? We'll go ahead and mosey on over to the cinnamon levels now, because I haven't done this one yet either. So this one, I'm assuming, is probably fairly difficult if we're dealing with a lich, but this looks familiar. This quest looks familiar too.
Sounds of panicked voices and scattered fighting echo from the walls.
Yeah, this sounds familiar.
Moonlight reveals a path amongst the rooftops.
So if you're a ranger, you can just kill them.
The sound of fleeing townsfolk rises from below. There must be a way to get down into the courtyard.
So that is going to open up.
The door begins to strain as
There's a mummy.
crashes against it.
Like I said, we don't want anything to do with mummies.
Collapses into a pile of scattered bandages and fetid dust.
And now we go this way. Leads us into, there's a shrine here, in case you needed a shrine. In case that mummy was too powerful. Fighting undead in a tunnel. I love it. Did I not set him to active? I didn't. So this one is reminiscent of, I don't remember what it's called. It's not the Snitch and the Lich. It's like something else, but something along the lines of the Snitch. It's a fun quest.
The door opens. In the distance, you can see a lever, which seems to control the next gate.
Come on, there we go. You open this lever.
The gate opens.
It's open. Now we're in section
Revealing a
2.
courtyard and a ladder. Dark creatures begin to appear from the shadows.
We have to be careful because if there's a mummy in one, there's probably several mummies. So I don't want to.
The ladder slides.
Ladder
into
goes up.
place, allowing access
Come up
to
there.
the rooftops above.
Now we're at 3 stars. And then we just kind of climb ourselves over this way, I want to say. Yes.
The
Yep.
zombie in the courtyard looks strangely familiar. Roderick Nettle's undead form slumps to the ground. The tattered form falls in defeat.
Just like that.
And the feeling of dread that surrounded the Lich fades.
13 pieces. Oh, hi, skeletons. 13 pieces, I'm sorry, 30 pieces of almond and, or I'm sorry, this is cinnamon, right? Yeah. Yeah. 30 pieces of cinnamon and a very quick quest. Done and done. 5 stars, easy peasy. So, that one I'd suggest doing for 30. That one's not bad. But it is definitely the whole point is you want to at least get the most reward out of everything before so you can choose, right? So like for instance in this situation I wouldn't do under New Ravagement, I would do Kobold's Newest Ringleader because it is still quite quick and it gets you more of the reward, right? You're not really looking for the experience because once you do it once, the experience is kind of like meh. But if you do it if you're just doing it for the one-time completion like I was, do all of them, right? But obviously, figure out which ones work for you best. So Snitch and the Lich, not too bad. Next, we're going to go ahead and go on to the other cinnamon one, which is the Hayweird Foundry. Now, this one is based off of the Haywire Foundry. This one is quite, if I were to say, this one, quite long.
There have been rumors of strange things stirring within the now abandoned Haywire Foundry. It all seems quiet here now.
So this one is quite... This one's quite long, but it's not awful. You run into a couple undead here and there. It's really not that bad. It's mainly a straight line until you get to the end where it turns into kind of almost a maze, but not really. I think the best part about these quests is that if you at all ever have done these quests, like Haywire Foundry or Kobold's New Ringleader, right? Then you know how to do the quests already. And it makes it for an easier time. So we keep on coming down here. Skeleton warriors. Now, you don't have to kill them all. If you personally can find a way to Zerg yourself through these things, do it, right? Because that will obviously save you a lot of time and a lot of headache. So here, what we're going to do is we're going to jump on over here, jump up here, and then we're going to go mosey on over this way. So now we've got more skeletons. What a surprise. Yeah, it's not that bad. These aren't really that bad. They made the dungeons very easy. Like I said, these are on level 12. If you're a low level, like if you're level 4, honestly, if you're level 1, you can do these, I think. But if you're level 4, you're going to have, the best time getting the experience out of here because, like, the experience is great. But, it's also going to be fairly easy, I think. The difficulty level for these are not difficult at all. And I do think that they're pretty manageable. So down here, what you're going to do is you'll see there's another rune. You're going to go get this rune. Unlocks that door. Take this pipe, go over here. Bring your hireling, because they don't know how to walk. You'll come into here. There's going to be these wheels. I thought they were going to actually do something in here. Turns out they don't. Turns out the wheels are not useful. So don't worry about the wheels. And then we can go ahead and mosey on over to the next area. Like I said, very straightforward, easy content. Like, I mean, you really can't get much more simple than this. I imagine they get, obviously they're going to get harder and harder as you go through them, because that's just how these things work. But for the most part, the difficulty level is not to the point where you're like, I need the other. You don't need like a trapper. You don't need anybody who has any kind of special, skill or ability. It's literally just, can you kill undead? Yes? Okay, you can do these quests, for sure. So, I don't think there's anything this way, no. And then I also know that there aren't, as far as I know, there aren't, like, conquest and ransack bonuses in here either. Because that just wouldn't make sense, because this isn't for experience, it's for the event. Bam. He died.
Pale form stands before you. Then it grins slightly.
Third ward
revealing
open.
A set of fangs that betray the creature's true nature.
A treasure chest. And then all you do... See, it's all reminiscent, because like this is all stuff that you'd see in the actual Haywire Foundry. But we're not in the Haywire Foundry. I mean, we are, but we're not doing Haywire Foundry. So, you'll climb up here, follow your step through, and it's very quiet. I mean, like, most of the dungeon is pretty quiet. Not a whole lot of actual stuff going on here. It's mainly just fight some skeletons and, do that thing. Oh, get back here. Well, thanks. So now we have to put down this wall. This wall is in the way. We need to get it not in the way anymore. Of course, turn the corner. More skeletons. And so remember that other one gave us 30 cinnamon, whereas this one, I don't know which. I think the 30 cinnamon is not static. I'm pretty sure that one actually changes. But even if it is just 30 cinnamon for that one quest is much better than this really long, arduous quest here. Like, it's just better. is you essentially go through this whole foundry just to go up here, hit a ladder. Whoop. Hit that lever. We're hitting a lot of things today. And then we activate the 4th ward. Now there is a weep down there, I believe, yes. Which is what we're saving against right now because the weep has that aura ability, essentially. So we're making our way back down. Turn this corner. There is the weep. We kill said weep. And then we're going to activate the rune.
A spectral form
And the wraith is going to spawn there.
A chill of fright runs down your spine as it approaches.
Luckily, we have a ghost touch weapon, so we are going to be able to do more damage to this thing than it thinks. We get 45 pinches of Sinister Cinnamon in here. So, yes, is 45 more than 30? Obviously. Is it worth the time? Probably, right? Like I said, I think the rate is different depending on the length of the quest. So if it's a short quest, it tends to give you less rewards. If it's a longer quest, it tends to give you more. So I always say that if you can, if you have the time and you're really willing to put in the grind, you can do that. So the next one, now you'll see we do only have, I think, 1 key left, I want to say. How many keys? Yeah, 1 key left. So we are going to actually go ahead and do the, let's see, which one can we do here? Let's just do the Haberdasher one real quick so I can show you. So Haberdasher is the Shadowy Caramels. This one is real quick and easy. You essentially come in, summon your hireling, make sure everything you have that you need is equipped. Haberdasher says there's a very scary lady in here.
The woman before you smiles, the sound of ravenous groan.
You open this up.
Behind the door sets your nerves.
There's
on
zombies.
edge.
And that's it. This room is the only room that's in here.
The desiccated corpses collapse with a sickening thud.
So this is the only room that's in this entire place. You'll see that eventually wraiths are going to spawn from here.
The last of the skeletal forms clatters to the ground.
So this wraith is dead, this wraith is dead. You're gonna turn around.
The last of the wraiths fades from existence.
This lady is here. She's a vampire. You're gonna kill her.
The vampire
She dies. Now you can now return to Haberdasher, or you can get this optional, which gets you that last star. I always say get the optional. Also, fun fact, I don't know if they know this, but this is bugged currently. So I can just kill that one. So there we go. So now we've got all 5 stars. Super easy. I mean, what? That took maybe, 2 minutes? And you get 15 caramels. And 2k experience. So, if you are looking to get pretty quick 2,000 experience points, you can keep putting them in there. So, those are the Shadowy Caramels for that one. The next one for Shadowy Caramels is a bit longer, but does bring out more caramels. Although, I am out of keys. So, if you'll excuse me for a moment, I need to go run some more of the Delaire's Graveyard quest, get more keys. I need how many specifically? Let's just make sure. We need 1, 2, 3, 4 more. So I'll go get 4 more keys, and I will be right back. All right, we are back to our regularly scheduled programming of the Night Revels. So, I got my keys. We're going to go in here to we just did the Haberdashed one. So now we're going to do the Getting Ahead in Lord's March Plaza. So this is a longer dungeon that gives out the Shadowy Caramel, but this one will give out more Shadowy Caramel than the Haberdashed one. So obviously, in terms of time, right? You could probably do 2 Haverdash by the time you're done doing this one. But I think this one gives a solid amount in regards to caramels. It's not just like 30 or just a little bit. It's like a whole bunch of caramels. So all this one is pretty straightforward. This one, much like the Haywire Foundry, is just you killing zombies instead of you killing skeletons. So now there's a lot of zombies in here, like truly a lot. So something you can do as soon as you get access to it, which I think you can do here, is if you are able to jump up here, you can actually jump. Well, as long as I figure it out, you can actually just jump and shoot these guys. So now your next move is to go over that way. So you can bring yourself through here, and it'll show you that there is a blocked path, but you'll be able to spot it. So more zombies in this room, and it looks like the labyrinth changes as the level changes. Like if you are a different level, or maybe it's just random how the labyrinth is set up here in the library, but you essentially just keep going through. Climb up over here. Although it looks like it's the same entry path either way. So you'll see that there's a headless zombie brute. That's like the boss of every room. And then you're going to come in here, you're going to click on this corrupted urn, you're going to smash it. Now that it's smashed, you're going to go around back the way you came. Or you can go all the way around in a circle, it does not matter. And you will exit the maze. And go talk to the Lord's March Plaza guard again. You'll head on in here, talk to the guard, and he's going to say, well, now you got to go check the offices. Right? Bam, bam. Cool. Enter the lower offices. So this is the lower offices. And these areas are all like blocked off until he tells you to go to them, so you don't have to worry about where what is. Now here, what you're going to do is you're going to go up these steps to your right. You're going to pretend that there's a trap there, but there isn't. At least there probably is. I just have not been able to trip it, which is great. Alright, you guessed it. More zombies. So, kill these guys. Then you're going to essentially follow a path over here. It is right in here. You'll go down this route. There will be a zombie at the end of the hall here. The headless zombie will probably start making his way down here too. Headless zombie moves real quick, so he's just a brute. He does more damage than the other zombies, but he's not a spellcaster or anything, so you don't have to worry too much. You'll come all the way up here. You'll see that there's the corrupted urn. Go ahead and smash that urn. Smash that urn. Alright, and you'll get a star. Now, move on over here. Or, well, you get the star for coming in here, I believe. Then you check this room. Which, of course, same deal. Same concept. You go all the way down into the room. Kill the zombies inside of the first room. Kill the zombies to make your way to the second room. But Let your hireling get some steam emitted out of him. But he's not a warforged. Alright, more zombies. You'll see just as you go here, you're going to get the attention of several other zombies. And like I had said, these are pretty straightforward, super easy little dungeons that not only do you get a small amount of experience for, but you get cool armor, cool weapons, you get things to level up. It's just really good. Like, I really can't say enough about how much I like the Night Revels. Because of its simplicity, its ease to grind, and I mean the freaking what do you call it? The cosmetics alone. Even if you know, I would say get actual items first, but like the cosmetics alone are enough for me to want to do this over and over and over again. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to go, we were just in there, we're going to go in here now. And yeah, so the cosmetics are worth it. So out here, you're in this big plaza, but what it wants you to do is it wants you to go to the registry first. The registry is over here on the right side of the map. Follow the pumpkins. That's actually what I ended up doing. I tried finding this place, and I couldn't find it for the life of me. And then I saw that the pumpkins were literally just lighting up the path for me. So I followed the pumpkins, and I found my way to the registry. Now, the registry is really easy. I think there's, like, a couple zombies and a headless zombie in here, and that's, like, it. So... Ooh, don't get hit by those zombies. Now, of course, same deal with all the other ones, is you don't have to kill all the zombies. You can keep the zombies alive and just smash the urn and then leave. But you have to kill the headless one in order for you to unlock the magical barrier that is blocking the urn. So you'll need to make sure to at least do that. But after you're done with that, you're going to go literally right across the way. Once again, follow the pumpkins. The pumpkins will lead you to your next destination, which is the refectory. So now that you are in the refectory, you're going to, once again, find yourself stuck with a bunch more zombies. But now it looks like we don't have any more urns to destroy. Seek out the refectory. Come in here. And now we're in some weird place. We're in the refectory now. We found it. Now we just kill more zombies. This little hallway filled with dead bodies. Or I should say undead bodies, I guess. I wish I shot faster. The only thing that this bow is missing is double shot. I wish I had it. But yeah. So this is pretty much the end of it here. We get to this end part here. We killed a few zombies in the hallway here. Fight them around if you don't want to be hit. But if you do melee damage, you're probably going to end up being hit. Open this door. Zombies inside. So, really, I mean, if you're a ranger with Undead Bane, or with Undead as your favorite enemy, and you have a bunch of Undead Bane on your weapon, I mean, the game is, or this whole thing is real simple. So, we just got access to a lot of zombies, but you'll see that there is a named zombie over there, the Headless Monstrosity. You'll see he just kind of looks like the Pumpkinhead. So we got 34 shadowy caramels there. So, like I had said, the amount you can get from here, 34, it's one key for 34 as opposed to 2 keys for 15. But for the sense of speed, if you've just grinded up a bunch of keys, you're good. You know, I would say maybe do Haberdasher if that's the case, because this is quite a long dungeon for only 34 caramels, when you can do 2 dungeons that are done in like 2 minutes and get 30 caramels. So add another couple minutes on there, and I'm sure you have another set. All right, so we've completed the Hayward Foundry, getting ahead in Lord's March, the Haberdashed. Now we need the 2 black apple ones here. They're Smashing Pumpkins, Gravework. So we'll start with Smashing Pumpkins. This one is fairly simple, if I must say so myself.
The darkness of Maybar has transformed this place into a corrupt shadow of what it once was.
The entire point of this dungeon is to, like the band entails, smash pumpkin. That's all you gotta do. Smash some pumpkins. Real simple, real easy. Now, I'll admit this one's, I mean, it's decently long, but not as long as one would think. It's more so long in the sense that you have to find these things than it is like the actual completion of the dungeon. But there aren't really any enemies up until a certain point. There's no enemies throughout all of this until I think you actually smash 50 pumpkins. And then there are enemies.
The way ahead is blocked.
Yeah, so it's not until there's a certain point in the game where the pumpkins start coming to life. They start attacking you. They're pretty much possessed. High vantage point helps finding all the pumpkins. Sometimes you miss some. Okay, now we need to find the key for this one. The key is in there, but we need to come into this room and get the key off of a body first. So, pretty straightforward. This one is not very, I don't know, I guess exciting. But it does give a decent amount of the black apples that you'll need. So, it's at least worth... If it's worth anything, it's at least worth the experience you get for doing it for the first time. But if you feel more comfortable doing the one we do after this one, then definitely go about doing that instead.
A door opens nearby.
And also, if you are having problems finding pumpkins, you can always hit the backspace button, and it will look for things. It doesn't specifically lock onto pumpkins, but it does help you find things. It essentially like targets stuff in the general area. Pumpkin. It's also easy to get sidetracked through all this and just like miss some pumpkins.
Unlock the door.
So don't feel bad if you miss any, because you probably will miss some. But you really can't miss them because they give you... Luckily, they do this nice thing at the end that everyone enjoys. At least I enjoy it. Okay. Smash. There's 9 more left to smash. This one here. Any more down around the bend? Usually you want to check inside the corners. Make sure there isn't pumpkin waiting for you there. You're going to go over in here, in this room. You're going to pick up this crest. There's 2 crests in this little area that you're going to have to remember to get. That opens the door there. Come on. 3, 2, 1. Bam. So now, shadows are going to start attacking you. They almost look like Heartless from Kingdom Hearts, which is kind of funny. But they're just going to keep coming. So, of course, keep destroying the pumpkins as you can. Pick up this other crest in the back of the room there. There doesn't seem to be any other pumpkins in this area. No? Okay. Come on, Shadow. Where are you? There you are. Yeah. Shadows are killed. Okay. So, now we climb up here. Get this ladder. Go ahead and pop these 2 into the sockets. Move on forward.
Something
So now,
this area seems strange.
this guy's going to want to play hide and seek with you. That's a ghost kobold. He's going to want to play hide and seek with you. I don't know what this gate entails. I never really checked it out. It looks like it just leads to treasure. But I wouldn't worry too much about it, to be honest. Probably don't need to do anything there. You'll see some of these pumpkins start to bring themselves to life and start attacking you. So, I believe they still count as actual pumpkins. So, hello? Back strap from there. A whole weapon? Wow. I'll take it, sure. Plus 4 venomous bastard sword. Wild. In here, you're gonna find some dude who's essentially animated a bunch of crates. They don't have a lot of health. As far as I know, I don't think they really do any damage. I think they just are annoying. Of course, while you're in here, check for pumpkins. I don't think there are any. So you're going to leave, and you're going to go ahead and check the other area. So, more pumpkins. And you'll see that we have to kill 100, or we have to smash, I should say, 100 more pumpkins. Can we maybe not? That'd be great. Please and thank you. Okay, I just want to destroy these pumpkins. So now, on top of you actually destroying pumpkins, now you have to play hide and seek with this guy. This, what did he say his name? Sneak It. You have to play hide and seek with him. Alright, it doesn't look like the animated pumpkins count towards the actual pumpkins. So, That's fine, though, because we're not worried. Now, if his hiding pots are the same place... Oh, they're not, because he's up there. If his hiding pots are in the same place as they normally would be, he's probably... Where are the shadows? Where's the shadow? Hear it. Is there another one back there? No. So, this one just goes around. But in these next couple of areas, you're just going to be looking for Sneak It. Sneak It is the, that kobold that you saw over there. So, he's going to be hiding from you, and you are going to need to find him. So, not terribly difficult. He tends to leave himself pretty open in the amount and where he hides. But sometimes he's a little sneaky. So, and that's the area in which he... So here's him here. Now he's going to hide someplace else. Not normally in this room. He usually changes rooms. So he'll probably be in the room behind us here. So there he is up there. And I think he spawns right over here. Yeah. Okay, so it is the same spots, just never in the same order. So now that we found him, we are going to go over into the antechamber, which is right in here. And there he is. His sneaky glory.
Up ahead, evil creatures that have been called forth by the endless night. You savor this small victory over the forces of darkness.
So there are going to be shadows, and then there's going to be these restless spirits that come down, I think, or whatever the heck they're called. Or maybe they don't. Maybe they won't. Maybe I did it before that. So you'll see, I have 50 pumpkins left, and this place is filled with pumpkins. Oh, there they are. It's like, where the... Bunch of mages doing mage things. Bam. So now what you can do, right, is you can go ahead and equip your melee weapons and just smash pumpkins. And then you'll eventually go ahead and finish it out. I can't remember how the song goes now. Something about being a rat in a cage. Can't remember. These ones here, bam. Just like that. So you get 48 black apples out of that. So, while it's decently long, pretty good. Almost 50 black apples for that. And that's a lot of work, right? Now, there is an optional to find the hidden pumpkin, but you don't need to do that because you have all 5 stars. So, you're already set in that regard. Not much else you need to do there. All right, we're down to our last 2, which are Grave Work and the Eternity one. So, Grave Work, this is another one for the Black Apples. I believe this one gives roughly the same amount, if I recall correctly, but it does give a ton of treasure.
And a necromancer has
So
made
your
its
whole
home
point here
somewhere
is you
in
need to
these desolate
find
woods.
a necromancer.
You'll need to find him before you can face the Minotaur chieftain.
That castle right there is filled with undead Minotaur. But we can't actually fight the boss in there without the necromancer's help. The necromancer is located right here. So all we need to do, follow a path, kill these little scarecrow needle dryad things, and then make our way into the place. So, but there is a special thing here, though. I normally won't tell you. So I'm gonna drop down over here, and I'm just gonna kind of walk myself over to that landing. That landing is gonna get me up over to him, where you will find him, and you will save him from some scarecrow. That will give you your first star.
You found the necromancer, but the spellcaster is under attack by a group of scarecrows.
Group of scarecrow. So same deal, doing this at level 12. Damn. So that's your first star. Now you're going to ask the necromancer for help. Go ahead and talk to him.
Grimsby the necromancer hands you an enchanted
And he gives you a talisman.
Now to find a way into the seemingly abandoned village.
Now what you think you'd do, right, is you could now come over, you can go into the place, right, because now you can fight the boss. There's an entrance right up over here. So if you just took over that, if you went over that bridge, you just followed that path, that's an entrance. But there is a secret star located a little further on down the way. So if we just follow the river, follow this little, I guess it's not a river, it's more like a ravine or a moat of some kind because it's in a castle. You get to listen to the dank music. Good stuff. Come on over here. And we're going to this, the Grizzly Pumpkin Patch, because we are going to go find the Great Pumpkin. And by Great Pumpkin, I mean the Supreme Pumpkin. The Superior Pumpkin, or whatever they call him. So you come all the way down here. And there he is right there. This...
A gnarled mass of pumpkins and vines rises from the swamp.
Pumpkin Blight. The Supreme Pumpkin.
The Supreme Pumpkin and his minions sink into the swampy pumpkin patch.
So that is a star there. You can also go ahead and get this chest. Comes with a, well, it has a Night Revels key in it, which is really nice. So then what you're going to do is you are going to find yourself to come over on top of here by the shrine. But you don't have to go to the shrine. Well, of course, the Scarecrow's got something to say to me now. Oh, all of these Scarecrows have something to say to me now, I guess. Oh, and the lag has something to say to me, too. Perfect, okay. Now that's taken care of. You're going to try and find your way over to this repaired ballista. That's where you're going to go. You're going to run into some enemies here, some blights. That's fine. It's be expected because, you know, that's what this whole thing is. Got some more scarecrows to fight. Really, our biggest enemy here is the lag, to be entirely honest with you. The biggest enemy here is the lag. If the lag is happening hard, it's normally a bad time. Okay, so now what you'll do is you'll go ahead and click on this repaired ballista, click fire away. This actually will shoot you into the stronghold.
Minotaur skeletons patrol the cursed town.
And now, your whole goal is to just kill the Minotaur skeletons. All you gotta do. Now, you can kill some of them. You can kill all of them. So you'll see I killed just a few, right? And I have 4 stars. Now, killing the boss gets you the final star. But if you want some additional treasure at the end, you can kill all of these Minotaurs in this entire place. And you'll get, a whole treasure chest full of goodies, right? Now, it's not a treasure chest full of materials for the Night Revels. It is just, weapons and such. So, there are 75, specifically. I know that because I've done it. There are 75 Minotaur throughout the entirety of this area, right? So, in this area up here and in this area over here, there are 75 Minotaur. There are 5 in this area here. So that's the final 5 that will give you the kill all Minotaur skeletons. I am not going to do that, though, because I am strictly doing this for the apples and not for the treasure at the end. So you get enough to get your 4th star, and then you come here.
Final resting place. You remove the Necromancer's talisman from your pack and hold it out toward the gate. Before you know it, a portal appears. The Matador chieftain glares down at you as he steps through the portal. How brave of you coming to face me. But when I kill you, you'll regret making the trip.
You'll regret making the trip, except I didn't regret anything at all. I whooped his butt. So, that's it. That's the boss. Pardon me for my, my OP many shot. But look, now you have 5 stars. So what you can do now is if you wanted to, right, you can go ahead and go through the rest of this place and kill all of the Minotaurs. Or you can go ahead and get on this repaired ballista. And you can go ahead and bring yourself back to this area. Talk to Doris. And you get a chest. So you have 45 for that as well. So, roughly about 50 per black apple one. So, this one, fairly quick. I personally think it's quicker than the, Minotaur, or the pumpkin one. But, it's all up to you. It's whatever you want to do, right? It's your own thing. So, now we're on to the final one, right? So I know that you guys have been watching for a long time, getting a lot of stuff out of here. We're on to our final quest, which is dead here in the center here. Eternity Unleashed. So, Eternity Unleashed, it's long, but it's not awful. You know how they said there were spectral dragon scales? Well, that's because we are quite literally going to be fighting a spectral dragon. Which is awesome.
Eternity, the spectral dragon, lies imprisoned far
So
below
here
the
you
earth's
find out
line.
about Eternity.
The creature's jailer, Yvonne,
I'll essentially go ahead and go over
to
spare you guys the
imprison spectral
details.
dragon, you must relight the crystals that power the central oculus.
But essentially, as the announcer, the narrator, had just stated there, the Eternity is a dragon, a spectral dragon that is essentially trying to, like, take over the world, pretty much. And, well, that's a lot of guys. Eternity's a dragon that's trying to take over the place, right? And you have to destroy her. Now, what you need to do is you need to go around and you need to activate these, like, these little, like, runes, essentially. And these runes, what they'll do
Cultists loyal to Eternity have broken
is they'll hit
through
these
the
relay
secret
mirrors.
mechanism that held the spectral dragon.
They'll hit these relay
You must
mirrors,
reopen the oculus before Eternity breaks free.
and they'll do that. So, actually, I'm going to save this one for last, because that room is the one right next to the area that is nearest to the stairs to get down to Eternity. So you're just going to go straight as you go through that door. Come over here. And then you're going to go ahead and just hit this. Going to shoot a laser out.
The gem above shoots a light
That's going to hit
towards
that.
a nearby mirror. As the beam hits the crystal, a voice from the central chamber bellows in rage.
Servants! Stop these intruders before they ruin everything!
So yeah, so essentially now what we're doing is we're just lighting up all of these crystals. And you'll see that the one that we were just at before the one that we just lit had a puzzle in it. As far as I can tell, unless it's going to be more difficult as the time go, as the levels go, there aren't any puzzles for the other ones here. Now, not that the puzzles are difficult, because they're really not. See, that activates that one. And then we'll come over here. And then we'll fight some more guys. Over here. Oh, that guy almost got the jump on me. That was almost bad. Alright. These guys are dead. Gonna fight the skeletons that spawn here. Easy. Now, this is actually the way that I had leveled up from level 11 to level 12 after I had done all 4 of my level 11 quests that are available to me as free to play. I think those will probably be put up after I put this up, only because this is a timed thing, and I want everybody to know how to do it first, whereas the level 11 quests aren't going anywhere. So, you're here in this last room. There's a big puzzle, okay? Point is, you don't want to hit these things. You don't want to hit these little red dudes. So, if I recall correctly, because I just did this puzzle... Whoops, don't actually do that yet. So, don't move this tile yet. I mistakenly did that. Make sure to move everything else. You want to essentially get the puzzle completed first, and know that you are not going to be pushing anything. That doesn't need to be pushed. This goes over here. This goes right up here. That hits this. That goes over here. This goes over here. Up over here. Bam. Bam. The puzzle's solved. Now I want to make sure that it's not going to attach to anything. That this isn't going anywhere. Actually, let's just make it there. This isn't going anywhere. This isn't going anywhere. These go over here. This isn't going to touch anything over here. This is through here. So now we should be good. Now we just watch it complete itself. Bam. It'll hit this lever.
A beam of light strikes the gem.
So now the Oculus is
In the
open.
middle of the structure grinds open. An eerie voice booms from the central chamber.
So you go to that left.
See the moonlight. Not again. Stall there, my servants. I shall not be imprisoned again.
Sorry, I'm itching my ear. So now that you've done that, you'll then take this path over here to the left of that puzzle room. And you'll take the steps down. And at the bottom, you will find a very lonely, lonely warrior who will die immediately.
Vanishes as the creature falls. Moonlight shines down upon it.
So you'll see there is a
The spectral dragon
giant dragon inside of here. What do you do against the giant dragon? You kill it. Now, be warned, though, and be prepared, because
the upper area closes behind you, trapping you in the chamber of eternity.
you will see what happens here.
Last glint of moonlight vanishes as the Oculus closes.
Now,
Booms eternity.
you're back in darkness.
The intruders cannot
Keep an eye on this door,
They are trapped within the chamber.
and just
So
keep
I can
walking
kill them
around.
at my leisure.
You essentially have to survive in here until they open that door again. Ow. Because that girl that you talked to in the beginning opened the door.
I've opened the gate. Quickly now, make your escape.
You can also get a pretty solid look at her.
Is now open,
So,
allowing you to return to the outer passage.
she's just gonna let you leave, apparently. That's just how this works. And now what you're going to do is you're going to have to go and you're going to have to redo all of what you just did. Which is great, right? Like, you love to see it. The only problem is that now there are these very death tornadoes, essentially, coming along this place. You'll see if they hit you, they do negative damage, and they slow you. You don't want to be hit by them. Good thing is, though, is that if you actually stay right by these levers, which actually you can see move these relays... Oh, I'm kidding. I must have been a liar. Probably not just right in this area, but... usually if you stay to the sides... they can't hurt you. So, always make sure to kind of hug the wall as you're traveling. And just kind of pay attention. All you really got to do. You'll see that they'll essentially follow you through. Sometimes they flip around. Sometimes they don't.
In the chamber below, Eternity is preparing a ritual that
But you'll
will
see,
destroy
sometimes you can get
doors
lucky
that
and you
open
can just hit these
once and for
levers
all.
while you're on the side. Just make sure to position them in the way they were before. Facing to the left of the room. Then you're going to go ahead and hit the switch. And like I said, same deal. I'm leaving the puzzle room for last. It looks like there was a weird bug going on right there. Stay here. Door is blocked. You'll see it coming over that way. What you can do is you can come over here. Two of them. Damn it. So obviously, keep an eye out for them. They do hurt a little bit. I mean, if you don't have any kind of negative resistance or anything like that, they do kind of hurt a little bit. So, whirling skulls of death. But if you have a high health pool, you probably don't need to worry too much about it. So, and you're gonna go back on in over here. That's a bug. Before you actually do the puzzle, you're going to want to redo these levers. Coming from behind me, I know it. I can feel it in my bones. It looks like we're just out of the way, and we're not affected by it. Now we go ahead and move on into here. And you'll see that our puzzle has changed and has been added into this. So we are actually going to move that. We're going to move this off of here. And then you're just going to redo the puzzle again. Same concept. So this goes into this. This gets flipped up here. This gets put over this way. It's the same puzzle. It's just, it may look a little different. But I guarantee you it is the same puzzle. It's just redone in the way that works for them. So you're still going to want to make sure that you are not touching any of the red. I don't actually know what happens when you do touch the red, but I imagine it's not good. So don't do that. Okay, not anything there, not anything there. Nope, we're good there. This all flows in well. That's good. Perfect. Go ahead and do this again. Bam. Get the rune. And just like that, the Oculus is open again.
A deep mechanical scraping can be heard as the Oculus grinds open. In the central chamber, eternity bellows in outrage.
Avoid all the undead tornadoes. There's one in here as well. But if you walk to the side, or if you just are near it, I guess I got hit by it because I got slowed, but okay. Now Eternity is back out again. Now we kill her. Doesn't look like she's got quite a ton of resistances to corrosion. She does a lot of damage, though. Just like that.
Bathed in the moonlight.
3.6k.
Freezes in place as her magical bindings return. Eternity is a prisoner once more.
Eternity is a prisoner once more. So we've completed that. We've gotten the chests. We got the 15 dragon scales. I believe 15 is the one. 15 is what I got last time, so I'm imagining 15 is the only amount you can get, at least maybe for this level. I think maybe if you get to like level 15 plus, there might be more opportunity for more dragon scales, but it's the same quest over and over. And then once you have everything that you need, you only need to do that 6 or 4 times in order to get any of the dragon scale specific things. So if we look at the this, for instance, right? I have one of everything except for the scales. So if I wanted one of these cloaks, I'd need to go get the scales. Specifically, the red one is probably what I'd look for. But unfortunately, because it gives 15 and not like 20, you have to do it 4 times instead of 3. But I have 2 more keys, which means I can go do it 2 more times and get the cloak. You can also get these things. You know, the hats, or you can get the helmet and the chest plate, stuff like that. So the options are up to you, but of course, there's tons of stuff to do here. And the fact of the matter is that even if you do one of every one of these at your level, you're probably going to get at least like a level, if not 2 levels from doing it. And if you're farming keys in the Delayer's Graveyard, you will also be getting, you know, experience for doing that and completing that, usually about 2k a run. Then every one of these has its own first time bonus, and then 2k-ish a run. So if you are farming it, that means you're still getting a decent amount of experience. Granted, 2k is meh, but it's free-to-play content that you guys can get in on and get a ton of experience and a ton of good items, and you can make your character look like an awesome Death Knight, essentially. And it's worth it. It's worth it entirely. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this episode today. I know it was a lot to cover, and I wanted to make sure I covered all of it in one specific episode, as opposed to touching on each individual dungeon, mainly because this event has a lot going on for it, and I want to show you guys what is available to you as, you know, as this event goes on, right? So thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate your support. Please, if you did enjoy this content, make sure to subscribe to the channel as well as like the video too. I like to make a bunch of MMO content for you guys. I hope to bring more Final Fantasy XIV content to you. I just dabbled into New World a little bit, so maybe we'll see if I end up getting any content from that. And there's so many things that are that I would love to teach you all, right? So before it ends, please come in here and check out the Endless Night in DDO. Tons of great things, tons of experience for you guys to have, and frankly, probably one of the best events to happen, one of the best seasonal events to happen in DDO's history. So, thank you again. Make sure to drink your water, eat your vegetables, and be spooky. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Alright? Heard out.